Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. So I'm doing a bit of a collective energy story time reading today. It may particularly apply to uh, Aries, Libra, Capricorn, I want to say, but I want to say it's collective, so it's all signs. We have, if you look at your birth chart, you've got 12 houses. The planets move, all the planets move through all of these 12 houses, and so we're all affected by all energies in different ways constantly. So don't get too hung up on your own personal sun sign. We're talking more birth chart type stuff today. I want to say heavy Pluto energy, maybe Scorpio energy. So check out your Scorpio placements and whatever your Pluto placement is. I feel like now Pluto moves really slowly, so we're talking generationally here. So if you have a Pluto placement in Libra, this reading or this energy could be particularly affecting you, which again, I think, Pluto moves so slowly, so that we're talking like literally like a generation of people, like my generation of people will have Scorpio in Libra. So with the sun being in Libra at the moment, um we've got this whole, it's like black hole sun energy, like literally getting like lots of stuff about black holes. I often get like literally like a sun being placed in a black hole or a star being placed in a black hole, which is interesting because someone was telling me yesterday this whole thing about this black hole that they've discovered that's not making sense in terms of physics, because it's like it's swallowed a star but it's leaking stuff. So not only kind of or what's he called? Oh, Hawking's, not just Hawking's radiation that they kind of already knew about, but it's like spitting stuff out that they didn't think was possible. So it's bringing like our reality into question. I have been getting this stuff about time crumpling. So the way they're showing it me, it's like a piece of paper that's being crumpled, like a, like a, when you make a fan, so it's like, if you imagine a timeline of your life written on a piece of paper and then it crumples, it's like different parts of your life touching. So this could be talking about, I don't know, glimpses of the future or echoes of the past, memories, feeling suddenly like you're thrown back into situations that you've been in before, deja vu, all these kinds of things could be coming up for anyone basically with that Pluto Libra placement. My sun sign's Libra, so I think this is why I'm feeling this so powerfully, because I've kind of like, I've got the Pluto Libra placement, the sun is in Libra, so I've got this whole, again, like black hole sun energy going on for me at the moment. Pluto is associated with kind of like devilish energy, which the devil card itself has come out. It was the first card that came out, so I was not surprised to see it. It's Capricorn energy, but it doesn't again have to be Capricorn. It's I get this kind of very plutonic devil. It's kind of like a emperor devil, if you know those kind of tarot cards. So it's very controlling. It's coming through as very emotionally controlling, very intense. I'm talking energy, by the way, so how this plays out for you, it could be playing out for you in terms of, a person who's exhibiting this kind of like emotionally controlling behavior. It could be coming through as your own inner like devil kind of thing, your own shadow kind of allowing you to give your power away or allowing yourself to be controlled. It's coming through powerfully with addiction. Some of you may know I've talked about it quite openly on my channel. I used to drink too much. I grew up in a pub. I come from the north of England, very much raised in drinking culture. So I always drank too much and it was normal for me. And I wouldn't say I've ever been alcoholic, but there was a dependency. And I gave up alcohol for a while because again, plutonic energy can bring literal death. Pluto is an energy of death, destruction, but also transformation. So I've experienced in the past few years a huge amount of death, but it comes with this rebirth energy, because it's as parts of your life crumble away, it makes room for new growth. If you think about how fruit falls from the tree, right, it turns into nutrients for the soil. So where in your life are things falling away? Where in your life, right, different questions. So where in your life are things falling away? Where in your life do you feel a lack of control over the things that are being removed from you? Let them go, right? It's like Pluto is a clearing energy. It's like a forest fire, right? It clears out the overgrowth so the undergrowth can grow. So there's parts of you that have perhaps stagnated, that Pluto comes in to remove the surrounding factors so that you can experience new growth, so that you can become stronger, so that you can develop. But it fucking sucks and it feels awful, and it comes with feelings of like grief and loss and all those horrible things. And then where in your life also are you giving your power away? So again, it could be a work, because it's this kind of Aries, like Plutonic Emperor. It's like, where are you giving your away to authority? Where are you giving your power away to workplaces or, you know, patriarchal figures in your life? And where are you caving into those kind of addictions and addictive behaviors? So we can get addicted to so many different things. We can get addicted to our phones. We can get addicted to substances. We can get addicted to people. So what are you addicted to, and what is toxic for you? It's really important to recognize that as this Plutonic energy is kind of doing his thing. Again, I'm getting kind of this clean up energy, because Pluto, again, this really slow moving planet, has been moving through Capricorn for the longest time. And now you can look at, again, it's a generational planet. So how has Pluto in Capricorn affected us generationally? Capricorn being this symbol of, you know, order and tradition and establishment and money, and it's going to move into Aquarius. So we're going to generationally, as a collective, as a huge, like, as the world, we're going to experience a lot of change as Pluto kind of does its cleanup act, like tying up those loose ends in Capricorn, and starts to move into Aquarius. And again, this is going to start to happen over the next couple of years. We're going to start to see the shift, and then we have Pluto in Aquarius for like 20 years or something. It's a long time. So Aquarius is an age of innovation and technology. So again, like, the old structures are going to fall away. There may be some kind of like death throes as old structures kind of fall away from us, old traditions, old ways of doing things that have become very stagnant. And then that Aquarian energy is like, okay, the path is clear. How do we innovate? How do we, like, right, Pluto destroys. So Pluto like breaks things apart and turns things into building blocks. It's like Pluto with that analytic, it's kind of like detective brain. It's like it looks at all the different component parts and it breaks them apart like Lego. If you imagine smashing a Lego sculpture, and then you can rebuild it into something new, and it may be something better than what was there before. But the initial smash, right, is, it brings in chaos and disorder and panic. So how do we keep our stability? How do we keep ourselves safe as society changes, as you know, like, again, like kind of like the death throes of old structures fall away? How do we jump into the new with that kind of Aquarian, optimistic, innovative, growth mindset? So yeah, try not to cling to the past and be open to the future is the message of this. Now, the first cards that came out for me, again, really, look at that ambulance going past as well. I assume it's an ambulance. But again, that kind of like warning, right? The warning sign, the siren, the castle, the storm, and the crows. Like, the castle is the structure, right? It's kind of like the Hierophant, like more like the Hierophant than the Tower in my personal deck. So the castle is like the structure, the place where the laws are made, the place where decisions are made, the heraldry, the symbolism. So it could be politics. It could be a place of politics, like the Houses of Parliament. It could be, your workplace as a structure. It could be your home. So the castle is some kind of structure and place of authority. The storm. Now, the castle and the storm together is absolutely the Tower card in the tarot. The Tower is not on the table, by the way, just to kind of point that out. But this is, the storm hits the castle, and if the castle isn't built properly, it's going to fall apart. Whoa! Wow, I just knocked over my tarot deck. It's so strange how the universe talks to us like that. So it's like knocking the top off, like knocking the head off. Oh God, this is bringing up, okay, knocking the head off. So what they're showing me visually, again, this is the way I get messages, is a castle. It looks like a Tudor type castle, you know, the flat top with the buttressing. And they're showing me like a storm coming in and kind of like blowing off like the bricks off the top of it, or, you know, just like the top of the tower being removed. Now, I've been getting messages about politics and how um, how politics can sometimes be manipulated. So I think you have the front facing, and again, not talking about any specific establishment, but generally, or it could be a business, right? A business, politics, like there's so many, anything that controls, right? A symbol of control. So a lot of the time, you know, we live in a culture now of branding, of the public face of the company or the business or the politics or the party. And so you have that bright, shiny image, you know, the social media presence, the way that this monster wants to be perceived. I'm calling it a monster because you'll see why in a second. So you have the public face, and this is changeable. So for example, again, not calling out any specific political party, but in the UK, you know, we've just had a different leader of the party that kind of is in power in politics at the moment. So the face can change, right? The public, the figurehead can change, but the body remains the same. So what I was being told, I think it came through in a reading actually, was the head of the monster, and it was coming through originally like removing the head of a snake, right? Cutting something off at the head. But it's coming through for me now as a hydra. So if you know the hydra from Greek mythology, it's every time you chop off its head, a new one grows, or two grow in its place. So it's like trying to defeat this monster by chopping off his head is not working because they just replaced the head. So again, I'm not talking about any specific establishment or party or anything like that, but you can probably think of parallels of like examples of how you're seeing this play out currently in the real world, this head of the monster kind of thing. So the castle and the storm are like the top of the castle being knocked apart. So the tower card in tarot is will this structure weather the storm, or is it supposed to fall? So when this plutonic energy rolls through, this destroyer energy rolls through, anything that's not no longer fit for purpose, anything that is not going to be brought forward into that future of Pluto in Aquarius is going to fall apart, right? And those building blocks can be used to create new structures. And this is good. This is growth. This is human development. This is meant to be, which is very difficult to remember when we're experiencing the storm, right? It's frightening. Then the crows as well. The crows are how do I explain the crows? So the crows are messengers from that plutonic energy. They're messengers from beyond the veil. They're messengers of the underworld almost. So for example, I woke up one morning and the crows were going crazy. I have crows that kind of live in the rooftops around my house, and they kind of come and go, you know, as birds do. And I woke up one morning and the crows were just going absolutely crazy. Like I have never heard them like that before. And I was like, what are these crows doing? Pulled back my curtain and there was like a storm. It was like the birds, right? There's a storm of crows right outside my window, like an omen. And I looked across at my neighbour who was elderly, this old elderly man, very, very lovely person. And I just knew he died. I just knew. And then a little while later, there was an ambulance outside his house. So he had indeed passed away. So it's like the crows were telling me, this plutonic energy, this death energy is close. We're making you aware. Now, it's not to scare anyone. It's not to be like, the doom is upon us, cried the Lady of Shalott, right? It's more like, this energy is close, prepare yourself. And I've been hearing the crows a lot all week. So it does feel like, again, because it's collective energy, because it's generational, it feels like stuff that's going to probably happen in the news, in politics, in regards to, I don't know, powerful businesses, you know, that hold a lot of influence, but perhaps don't have the best practices behind the scenes, or, you know, it's just holding people accountable. You know, the people who hold power, do they deserve that power? And Pluto's coming in to say, well, I'm gonna I'm going to test this, right? So it's scary if you've got something to fear. But if you have high integrity, and I love that Archangel Michael is here as well. If you have high integrity, so here's the Libra energy, because Libra is the Justice card, the Queen of Swords. She holds that sword of truth that Archangel Michael wields. So it's like, if you're truthful, if you have integrity, if you're high vibrational, if you stand in your own truth and power of your own confidence in your own knowledge, confidence in your own opinions, without being egotistical and blinded by that, you're going to be fine. You are protected, right? You are protected from the storm. And that is exactly the message here that I'm seeing, which again, with the first card coming out being temptation, which is the devil card in this deck, like literally the first card came out and then I kind of reshuffled and this is the layout. And so when I saw Archangel Michael come out, I was so relieved, because again, if you know kind of the mythology, the stories of this, Archangel Michael defeated the devil, right? So it's like, he is, it's so funny because I work with both of these energies. This kind of Plutonic energy I work closely with through meditation, and this Archangel Michael energy is basically the original guide that came through for me. This is how they presented themselves when I had my spiritual awakening, and when I started to receive messages. I used to get this cold touch on my hand, and that was a symbol that Archangel Michael was close for me. And so for him to be here is like, I feel protected, I feel safe, I feel like I don't have anything to worry about. Michael's got my back, right? As long as I stand in that truth and integrity. And that can be truthful, like telling the truth to yourself and being honest with yourself about, I don't know, any kind of addictive behavior that you have, you know. And it's like, and that's the thing with the devil. When you shine the light on the dark has nowhere to hide. The devil plays in the dark, right? The devil plays in the grey areas. That's how the devil energy gets away with it. I'm not talking specifically about the devil, right? It's energy, and it manifests in our lives in so many ways, and we all have light and dark like inside ourselves. So for example, if you are the sort of person who is you know, you don't do the shadow work, you are blinkered, you like sat in your own ego of not doing that self-analysis and blaming other people for your problems, or projecting onto others and thinking there's nothing wrong with me, I'm perfect, you know, and like, you know, refusing to kind of like look into your own inner shadows and pull out those inner demons and really like grab them and you know, like they show me almost like it's almost like fabrics, like reaching into yourself and grabbing, like you know, like almost being able to grab this smoke and like pulling it and holding it and like putting it in the light and being like, I see you, to yourself, right? To that dark part of yourself, like, I see you, I acknowledge you, and now therefore you don't have that power over me anymore, because I've seen the truth of my own inner demons. So ugh, feels yucky though, doesn't it? I'm like, I woke up this morning and I woke up like in that energy. I was like, why am I, did not stop crying for like the first hour of being awake. Like my kids were like, are you okay? Do you need a hug? I was like, I'm fine. I'm just tired. I'm fine. Like, yes, I want a hug. Thank you so much. You're the best children, you know? So like sad embrace. And there's something about like turning blue into something beautiful with that, you know, not hiding it, not hiding the fact that I've woke up on the wrong side of the bed and I'm having an emotional day. You know, the children knowing that them hugging me and showing me love is going to make me feel better, you know, or like, yeah, I might still be sad, I might still be crying, but you know, it's the metamorphosis into something blue, into something bittersweet, right? Which makes it beautiful. So okay, God, there's so much, guys, there's so very much. Let me just go to my notes. So my notes say, resist falling back into bad habits. Again, so I'm Libra, so I've just had my birthday. I've been bought alcohol. I've been taken out for meals. So I have this one drink a week rule. Like, I'm only allowed to drink once a week now. And it made me feel so much healthier and so much better, and made my mental state so much better. But because it was my birthday, I've had alcohol around. I've had more opportunities to socially, like, to drink, and it's not doing me any good. It's making me feel awful. And then being able to recognize that because I had stopped. So I've seen the difference between like drinking most days, right? And not a lot, not excessively, but a drink here, a drink with tea, a drink with dinner, you know, and then like to not have that, to kind of go cold turkey and see the incredible improvement of my skin, my physical body, my mental health, and then, you know, maintaining that with the once a week rule, and then falling back into those bad habits and like seeing my skin flare up, feeling so over emotional and like out of control of my own energy and physically exhausted and all these horrible things, a little bit flabby, like, and that's not drinking excessively, right? It's just the bad habits rearing the head, but really seeing that impact. It's like a wake up call. So yeah, so with this being collective energy at the moment, it could be affecting a lot of people. So where are your bad habits? Are you taking one bite of that apple, or are you overindulging in that? You know, is one bite of the apple enough? It's strongly coming through with romance as well for some of you, with it being accompanied by that Libra energy. They're giving me, is it Imagine Dragons bad habit? It's like, whoa, whoa, my tummy's rumbling. I'm sorry guys, I've had a massive, I'm trying to get like, I know it's fat, right? But like getting like healthy food, like sustaining food into my body. Like I had like a halloumi bagel with like loads of spinach and cucumber on, so my tummy's going yum yum yum, gurgle gurgle gurgle, let me digest all these nutrients, all this good stuff that you've put in me. And like fats can be good too if that's what your body needs, right? Pluto, Libra, Pluto Sun, so that black hole sun energy. Okay, so for those of you who this temptation is romance, right? That person who has a hold over you, that person who is emotionally like emotionally like nom nom nom, give me more. Like, please sir, can I have some more of your toxic love? Is coming through with Ferngully. Does anyone remember Ferngully? So there could be an environmental thing here. So the bad guy in Ferngully is kind of made out of oil. He's like this black oily creature, and he's like something about my toxic love. It's funny, I'm gonna make a note of it. Give me my toxic love. Ferngully. I don't know. My guides are funny. Like they make light of the dark. They really, really do. Humor is so important, and I think this is coming through here with Joyful Muse. Like humor is so important when we face those storms. Like to be able to laugh about the things that are scary. Like that is the smartest kind of humor, because it breaks down the fear. It like to laugh in the face of danger is so powerful. 222 on the timestamp. So confirmation there. Never be afraid to laugh at what scares you. Like that's you taking your power back. And my question was, how do we take our power back? By laughing at what scares you, making a joke about the scary thing. You know, it breaks down the if you think about any kind of like tyrannical situations, right? If you go through history and look at where tyranny has been, a lot of the time there's a silencing with it, right? Because if people are making jokes about it, it undermines the power of that tyrannical control. And this is how ultimately you break the tyranny, through satire. So never always be, I've always said, be very, very careful about the people who silence the jokesters, right? It's like there's no harm in a loud fool, but although all he do is rail, like that Shakespeare quote. So who permits the fools? Who permits the jokes, and who doesn't allow that? There's a danger to whoever doesn't allow the jokes. Okay, so you got Foxy Lady by Jimi Hendrix. You're a heartbreaker. Pluto, Libra, absolute heartbreaker energy. And then like it's just like, again, heart being Libra and breaker being Pluto, like again with that like destruction, like the destruction of the heart, like what breaks your heart. Foxy Lady, Jimi Hendrix, it's the I can't pronounce the name of the band, but it's Ktulu. It's like a heavy metal version of that song, and it is coming through as very aggressive and domineering. So again, if you've got somebody like this in your life, and this has come up on, again, it's collective, so it's going to pop up. It's going to be like, now they're showing me, because they explain things visually to me a lot. They're showing me, have you ever been anywhere that's volcanic, and the beaches and the ocean has hotspots where like there's like bubbles of water coming up from the volcano underneath the ground. I don't know if I explained that very well, but they're showing me like, instead of one big volcanic eruption, it's like a lot of little eruptions in our lives, like little fires that need putting out. So yeah, like there's something happened on social media to do with a Twitch streamer and her partnership, with her, not with Twitch, with her husband, and how that is an example of a toxic controlling relationship. So again, you're gonna see a lot of this in the news, in media, in culture in general. And then Take Me Out by Franz Ferdinand as well. Again, toxic, possessive. I know I won't be leaving here without you. I've got you in my crosshairs. So again, it's who's trying to control you with fear, right? Governments, often. News, often. Don't allow yourself to be controlled by fear. Yeah, watch out for toxic, possessive relationships. Also talking about your own inner monster. So I had this dream, like, it's so affectionate to me. I had this dream where I had this horse, and I called this horse Monster, like that was the name of the horse. And she was very, very dark brown, like, and she got really muddy. She went out eating berries off a bush, and she got really, really muddy. So she was like black and muddy, like the oily guy from Ferngully, right? But she was beautiful, this wild horse that was my horse, but she was a wild horse. And I was going, so Sagittarian energy, Sagittarius is horses, and she was kind of uncontrollable, but she was kind of like a cat in a way that, you know, she loved me. It kind of had like a Maleficent Sleeping Beauty quality to it. It's like she loved me, but she would only cooperate with me if she wanted to, if it was in her own interest. So I say this about cats and dogs a lot. Like dogs can have a horrible owner and they'll still be loyal. Like a dog's owner can beat them and treat them badly, and the dog will still follow that master around, right? And that's not healthy. Cats, if you treat a cat badly, they're going to the neighbour, right? If you treat a cat badly, like they're not sticking around, you know, they go where the bread is buttered. So and that's, people see that as disloyalty. I see it as independence, and I think it's much harder to earn a cat's love, and when you do, you feel really special. Like, right, when the cat picks you, it's like, yeah, I'm the best person in the room. So yeah, like loyalty that's demanded, there's a difference there. There's a parallel with, again, with that tyrannical energy. Loyalty that is demanded, or like a population that's controlled through fear and domination, is not true loyalty, right? It's false loyalty, where to be given someone's loyalty freely because you've treated them well, that's true loyalty. That's much more unbreakable. So Monster, the wild horse, yeah, I want to say it's symbolic of like my own kind of inner wolf, right? So if you think about yourself as like, your public persona is the dog, right? The dog that's been tamed by society. And then you think about your inner wolf, that's kind of like the wild part of you that does what it wants to do. So I think with me having Sagittarius Mars placement, it's like my own inner horse wanting to kind of run free and do what it wants to do and be independent. But the funniest thing is, again, like, it's so strange to me how I get sorry, where did my mind go then? They started showing me something else, so I'm so sorry I got distracted. So I'm just backtracking. Sorry, it's really hard when you've got about 3 conversations going on at the same time. So the horse, I watched Nicholas Ashbow's Libra reading, and the symbolism for Libra's reading was the horseshoe, and it was like, no way, because the horse was so symbolic for me through dreams, and he had the same symbolism with like the devil energy as well, obviously the devil being cloven. Yeah, I'm just really seeing a lot of the parallels and stuff as well, because I haven't been doing readings, but I've still been getting intuitive messages. So I was getting this whole thing through about Monopoly cards and handing someone a get out of jail free card, and then literally it felt very Plutonic as well. And then Awakening to Spirits reading went up, her Scorpio reading, and the title was Get Out of Jail Free Card. And I was like, oh my God. So I'm predicting like crazy, but it's, I don't know. I'm keeping a lot of it to myself. But again, I wanted to come in and kind of do an explanation reading of like, it's really difficult for me as an intuitive, as somebody who's open to collective energy, when something's rolling through the collective and it's challenging, it hits me really hard. Again, I woke up in that sad embrace energy. So I am just a human being. I'm trying to live my life. I'm trying to do my kids' maths homework and things like that. And then to be hit by this wave of Plutonic energy that just feels like the whole world is ending. It's for no reason, because it's not anything that's physically happening to me in my life, right? But it's like I'm feeling all this collective energy. It's so difficult for me. And so sometimes I'm not going to do readings because it's just not, I'm not in the right place to do it, or I don't know how to talk about it yet, or whatever it is. But I'm hoping that this is going to kind of cover the collective, and then I can just go in with shorter readings for each sign. So this is the long-winded reading, basically. So there was a question, how do you stand in your power without taking it from others? Because a lot of the time we think to stand in our power, we have to take it, right? We have to knock someone else down so that we can sit on that throne. How do we raise the collective vibration through helping others to stand, right? Helping others to climb, while also you know, following the footsteps or leading the way. Like, how do we collectively rise together without trying to, you know, it's like when girls get competitive, who's the prettiest, or like when guys are like, I don't know, who can earn the most money. It's like, put that competitiveness aside. We don't have to fight. Like, what is it? No hard feelings, baby. You know, if we don't fight, we both take the win. Wolf Alice, I'm just gonna make a note of that. No hard feelings. Like, if we stay classy, San Diego, like we all take the win. You know what I mean? Right. Oh God. So, right, it's getting scary now, but remember that when I say our world, I'm talking about our own tower that we've built, right? Whatever we've built up around us, whatever we, you know, our home, our job, our identity, our own little bubble. I'm not talking about the whole world, but maybe, in which case, nice knowing you. The song that came through for this reading, as I pulled cards, was End of the World by Nancy Sinatra. So let me just pull up the song. No, I don't want to take a picture of myself from the angle. Thank you very much. I look like an old potato. You know, when you click on your camera by accident, it's on front facing, and you're like, whoa, I look bad. Again, I spent the whole morning crying, so yay me. So it's such a beautiful song. Why does the sun go on shining? Why does the sea rush to shore? Don't they know it's the end of the world because you don't love me anymore? Why do the birds go on singing? Why do the stars glow above? Don't they know it's the end of the world? It ended when I lost your love. I wake up in the morning and I wonder why everything's the same as it was. I can't understand, no, I can't understand how life goes on the way it does. Why does my heart go on beating? Why do these eyes of mine cry? Yeah, so it can come through in so many different ways. Again, like with the interpretation, it could be that you've lost someone. I have been getting someone's losing a male parent, possibly with the name Bill. I was given a vision of a butterfly holding a rolled up dollar bill. So that's where I got the name Bill from. So Bill, Will, William. The butterfly is symbolic of positive change and positive transformation. It's a symbol of the soul. So I want to say it's a positive omen if you have lost somebody with that name. It's like a sign saying they're okay. I don't know the symbolism of the dollar bill beyond that. It could be there's a change coming to do with financial structures, because butterfly is symbolic of change and transformation. The dollar bill is symbolic of money. So a change in your own personal finances, a change in society in terms of we've been a very consumerist society recently. It's really bad for the planet. There could be changes to financial institutions, to the way we manage our money, all these kinds of things. Maybe just literally like the money is changing in the UK because we've got a king now instead of a queen. We've got to like change the face on all the money. So changes to money. Take it as it resonates, even if it doesn't. But I woke up and I looked on again, there's that Nicholas Ashbar reading at the bottom. So I woke up and I checked my YouTube feed, and there's this creator called, I don't really watch many of the videos, they only specifically do Libra readings, so not all of them resonate, but every now and again one catches my eye. But it's a creator called Libraland 1010, and as soon as I opened my phone after receiving that message with the butterfly, this is what I saw: God loves you on a dollar bill. So yeah, I don't know, again, super predictive at the moment. So that was a nice message. God loves you. Don't worry about the change. You're protected. Michael's here. It's fine. Don't worry about that devil. So where are we? End of the world. Right, here the council, look at how she's holding her chest. I had a really bad stabbing pain in my chest. It was above my heart though, kind of in my breastbone. Or my chest plate, breastbone, I don't know. Feels Right by Biig, a taste I know I'll crave. Right, so it's like a little bit of something and then craving it. I've been getting images of like Tantalus, you know, Tantalus up to his neck in water but he can't drink, and like the fruit above his head but he can't reach it. So something that's tantalizing you, again, it could be a relationship, it could be a job. It's here with the Ace of Earth, so it could well be some kind of job offer that you know is going to be kind of toxic for you in some sort of way, kind of addictive for you. Maybe you have a work addiction, yeah, a taste I know I'll crave, but it feels right. So I don't know. And then you've got Wildest Dreams by Taylor Swift. It says, I can see the end before it begins, which ties into another message I got intuitively, which was a line from Harry Potter, I open at the close. So it really does feel, and again, it's so hard to bear as a reader, it really feels like this encroaching death energy, or this encroaching tower moment, like the slow march of death creeping up on you, right? It's horrible. It's like, if I crave to it, it would make me feel super paranoid, but it's like you've just, I don't know. Wildest Dreams by Taylor Swift. And again, it's not necessarily death, it's destruction, it's things being removed from your life because it no longer serves you. It just feels like the Grim Reaper. Right, he said, let's get out of this town, drive out of the city, away from the crowds. I thought, heaven can't help me now. Nothing lasts forever, but this is going to take me down. He's so tall and handsome as hell. He's so bad, but he does it so well. I can see the end as it begins. I open at the close, right? My one condition is, say you'll remember me, standing in a nice dress, staring at the sunset, babe, red lips and rosy cheeks. Say you'll see me again, even if it's just in your wildest dreams. I said, no one has to know what we do. His hands are in my hair, his clothes are in my room, and his voice is a familiar sound. Nothing can last forever, but this is getting good now. Yeah, and then it repeats. You'll see me in hindsight, tangled up with you all night, burning it down. Someday when you leave me, I bet these memories follow you around. Burning it all down. Yeah, so you'll remember me even if it's in your wildest dreams. So take that as it resonates. It came through with Magical Map Shifter. Right, let's quickly get into the cards then. Cards are really confirming what I've been getting intuitively. You know, this energy that I'm sat in it's torturous. I mentioned this in Capricorn's reading because Capricorn is the devil card. And I remember saying something about a fate worse than death was the way it came through, is living with addiction. Right, surviving addiction and not caving into that temptation because it's like being tantalus. It's like being constantly tortured by your need for whatever that symbolizes, right? Whatever that temptation is for you, and not taking it, resisting it. And it creates this kind of ongoing Nine of Wands energy, which is the wounded warrior, which is somebody who's incredibly strong. And yes, they may sometimes stumble and fall. Like this week I've drank too much, right? Because birthday month. But acknowledging that and being aware of that and admitting it to yourself with the Michael there, and picking yourself back up and being like, okay, you know, I fell off my bike today, tomorrow's another day. You know, I'm going to pick myself up, dust myself off and keep going. So to live in that wounded warrior energy is, you know, they are the strongest people. You know, the people who have addiction are seen perhaps, or have a self-perception of being weak, when to live with it, to keep going, perhaps for an entire lifetime, with that devil on your shoulder, with that devil on your back, and to constantly be fighting it is so strong. Imagine that, right? Imagine the devil always stood there with you, in front of you, with this apple, and like having the strength to resist it. You know, it just, I don't know, mad. So the cards themselves then, sad embrace. Perhaps you've had some kind of loss, some kind of goodbye, some kind of final farewell. Perhaps you're embracing yourself because there's no one else around to comfort you. The sad embrace, it is that overwhelming grief energy that I'm, you know, and again, that kind of like surviving grief, surviving death, surviving the goodbyes, surviving, I don't know, the loss of a job that you loved, or, you know, the end of some kind of situation, perhaps some kind of like community group that you went to that's no longer funded. You can't go there anymore. You can't meet those people in that same environment anymore. So knowing that it's goodbye and having that hug, or, you know, having the acceptance of that, and being in that blue energy and sitting in that blue energy. But the thing is, it's coming through with this connectivity. You see this web? So this reminds us that we're never truly alone. We're all connected energetically. And, you know, like remembering that we can tap into that universal energetic energy, that cosmic web, maybe even like online. You know, you can't meet this person in person, but maybe you stay connected to them online. Or it could be talking about energetically in meditation with the council. So this always talks to me about somebody who is meditating with these kind of the antlers always talk to me about kind of your own intuitive aerial, like being able to receive intuitive messages, being able to be instinctive, to connect with people in the kind of astral realms. So this kind of, again, it's like if you didn't get to say goodbye to someone, you could be meditating and you know, saying goodbye to them astrally, something like that. But the council as well, it could be, it just has the feeling of something coming to an end, and being sad about it, and kind of like, I don't know, giving yourself a hug, something like that. But again, it's like separation is the illusion, because next we have the time master. So again, it feels like almost like these two people are connected in some kind of perpetual way. He has the figure 8 on him, right? The time master. He's a manipulator of time. He's a manipulator of the rules of physics. So he came up in a reading like off camera. It's like he's waiting for the right time, or like there's a timing factor involved, or there's this weird kind of like time compression. So it could be being really nostalgic, it could be he's looking to the future. So it feels like two people, like one person in this sad embrace energy, one person in this last goodbye energy. It's the end of the world as we know it, you know, this thing that has been a part of my life for so long, or this person that's been a part of my life for so long, you know, like losing that connection. And yet the time master seems to be saying, yeah, I'm looking to the future. I see something that is not known to this energy yet. it's like somehow manipulating the situation, which seems like it's unknown to character one. And then what's really interesting is we have adjacent possibilities. So again, with that energy of like when the Plutonic energy rolls through, when one door closes, other doors open, right? It's like it's not an ending, it's a new beginning. There's a different way of looking at it here, this kind of Aquarian glass half full, and like turn it on its head, look at the situation from a different angle, and you'll see it as an opportunity rather than an ending. With the Ace of Earth as well, I definitely feel like you could be getting job offers, right? Again, it's like doors opening to you, or you could be applying for jobs, because the Ace of Earth is like a tangible offer. It's like a real, it's like, here you go, here's a thing that you can hold. So it's like, here's money, here's a job offer. It's something real, right? It's not something ethereal, right? And it's like, it seems to be coming with this time master. It's like this time master is somehow, if he's not controlling the situation, if he's not manipulating the situation itself, he's like, because he's the time master, he's like, he's had an image of the future, he's had a glimpse into what's coming next, like he's had a peek into all those open doors. So it's like he's aware of this opportunity that seems to be hidden from character one. But it seems like there is, like, yes, with the sad embrace, it's like, yes, you may be going through different doors now, you may be taking different paths, you know. Maybe if this is, maybe you work for the council, right? Like you have some kind of civic role, like one of you may be going through door number one, one of you may be going through door number three, but it's almost like Scooby-Doo, right? It's like you never know where you're going to come out. You could come out in the same place, you know. So and yeah, so with this character one seems to be in this contemplation energy, this sad energy, which is what I woke up in this morning, this end of the world as we know it energy. And it's like there's something about this treasure chest, because it's a reoccurring feature in these cards where it's like been completely discarded. And again, with like the offer, it's almost like player, it's funny I'm saying player, it's like player one, maybe there's something with that film, right? Player one, like player two, like this could be some kind of boss figure, with it being the deer. The deer is sometimes symbolic of an emperor. It's like they're the stag, they're the positive omen, they're the patronus, right? It's like there's something here with this character where they seem to be offering a coin, right? So it could be, come and work with me, I'm going to give you money here, where this person seems to be completely disinterested. Like, look at the similarity between these two cards. Complete different packs, right? Different decks, same artist but different decks. Completely disinterested actually in the treasure. It's like if you actually look at this treasure chest, the treasure's all over the floor, it's been discarded. What's actually being protected here is the girl herself. So it's like this sad creature number one who's in this, but this was my, it's coming through this energy of like having a taste of something that it's like having a taste of something that felt like your entire world, and then knowing you can't have any more of it. It's like, please sir, can I have some more? It's like, no, you'll never have any porridge again. What was it? Pisces had the porridge. I was laughing with my friend in work because I was saying, like, we make porridge in work, and she was making porridge, and I was like, oh, is it just right? She hadn't seen that part of the reading, so I had to then explain it to her. But it's like, you know, finally getting the porridge just right. Finally mastering the recipe. Like, finally thinking, this is the sweet spot, and just getting a taste of it. And then it's like, it's gone. Like, that's no more, right? And so the grief that comes with that, the grief of, I'm never going to get the porridge right ever again. I've lost the secret recipe. It's like not caring about the money, right? It's like, if my heart's not in it, I can't do it. Something like that. but it is coming through with temptation. And then the brilliant thing is, and it's such a relief for the devil to be followed by Archangel Michael. So for exactly the reason that I've talked about, Michael being a symbol, again, you don't have to be religious, right? It's all symbolic. Michael being a symbol of truth, integrity, high honor, protection, especially around children. He protects children above all else. At least my version of Michael does. So to have this kind of protector, and he is the protector, right? The angelic, divine protector. It's almost like he's the umbrella, right? You see this little bird holding the umbrella. It's like, as this person's consumed by their own desire, their own addiction, their own loss, the thing that they can't have, Michael's here, almost like these wings behind them, like shielding them. It's like protecting them through this dark storm, this devil energy, which is just, for me as a reader to get that, is just the biggest relief. And then that comes with trust, crystal cave. So I want to say there's something about going inwards. There's something, especially with like home and all tied up. It's like, again, it's almost like COVID, right? It's like being stuck at home, you know, maybe not being able to travel, maybe not having any, you know, any way to put gas in your car at the moment. I know that's something like Cindy, who's in Canada, she was talking about it. You know, I've maybe working from home, I can't leave home, I've got work to do. But it's like feeling very, very stuck, right? Being in a sacred space, being in a place that's comfortable, being in a place that is very personal, and doing some inner work, like working on your own. Again, it's almost like Four of Swords, like your own healing, your own well-being, you know, your own health, you know, saying no to going out to social things. Like, no, I don't want to go out. I'm looking after my body. I'm putting the right nutrients in. I'm being careful about what I eat. I'm not going to eat that thing that's bad for me anymore. I'm going to eat good stuff, you know, stuff that makes me feel good about myself. I'm going to care for my body. I'm going to do yoga. I'm going to have a salt bath. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to listen to music that makes me feel emotionally better about myself. I'm going to work with crystals, like whatever it is for you, like being inside your own, going inside your own heart, right? Going into your own inner safe space and doing some work in there, where I want to say there's something about self-appreciation. So perhaps through meditation, connecting to that Archangel Michael energy, who carries that unconditional love of like God or the universe, right? He's like, he brings that in. So it's like the first chakra as well is like your roots, which is, again, is like fascinating because she's like in the root of this tree. So trees being symbolic of you, like the tree is your own body connected to the past, which is the root system, and your future, which is the branches, right? And so going into your own, maybe researching your family tree as well. And then Archangel Michael being first chakra here with like the roots is nutrients, right? What are you being fed? So it could be talking about actual food, like maybe you need to eat apples, right? But like the actual food you're eating, are you eating good quality food? Is there a lot of nutrients in the food choices that you're making? Are you giving your body everything that it wants in terms of vitamins and minerals and fats and you know, all the things that your body needs and craves? Really pay attention as well. Are you craving a specific food? Even if it's an unhealthy food, there could be something in that food specifically that your body is lacking. So for example, if I was anemic, I might start to crave spinach, right? And I might be like, why am I craving spinach? Am I pregnant? No, my body just knows what I need. So again, sometimes I have for example, I had a breakout on my skin for what felt like no reason, and I sat there in meditation and I asked my guides, is there something missing from my diet? What is going on with my skin? Like, what am I not doing what am I forgetting to do? And they showed me mushrooms, and I think it's selenium in mushrooms actually helps your skin. So I started to eat mushrooms, my skin improved. So this message of, it's like either your body knows or your spirit guides will tell you what you need if there's something physically missing from your diet. So trusting those guides, trusting those messages, trusting that you're protected, trusting your own inner self-worth, like going within to appreciate yourself and to be like, no, I do have value actually. You know, even if other people can't see my value, I know that I'm a good person. I know that I'm a person of truth and integrity. This is Capricorn card, by the way, because it's very similar to the Nine of Pentacles, if you're familiar with that. I am so got Libra cap. Like I am a good person. I am kind. I do things for others. I do work hard on things. And okay, maybe I've been overlooked for certain jobs. That could have been confirmation for somebody, by the way, that ping. Maybe I've been overlooked for certain jobs, for pay rises. Maybe my efforts have gone unnoticed, but I know that I'm appreciated by God. I feel like, again, Cindy, who's one of my favourite readers, Awakening to Spirit, I think she was talking about this in her Sagittarius reading. So it's interesting, like the symbolism of the horse as well there. Like she was saying, it's like, she was saying actually like a Cinderella type character who, you know, your work's gone unnoticed, but the divine has noticed, the divine appreciates you. And at the end of the day, that's who you're answering to. So, yeah, really good. And then, okay, so grace. So this is beautiful. This is really coming through really, really high vibrationally of being wise woman of the grove. So being affected by something emotionally, like being hit by something that feels painful, feels like your whole world is crashing down, going within, trusting your own guides. It doesn't have to be Michael, your own high vibrational spirit guides, finding that inner sense of appreciation and like kind of being good where you are as well, like home. It's like maybe doing some gardening, maybe tidying your house, you know, and like making your space beautiful with Libra energy. Libra is about making things beautiful. Appreciating the little things, appreciating, you know, the little gifts. I talk about this a lot, the little gifts that spirit puts in your path. I've been carrying, actually, I've got one here as well. I've been carrying around, like, did you ever do that project? I don't think I ever did it, but I saw it on like TV shows, especially like American TV shows, where they teach you how to look after like a fake baby. So sometimes they give children like teenagers in high school, an egg, and they'd be like, right, you have to protect this egg like it's a baby for a week. Like, don't drop the egg and smash it. Or they give you like a little fake baby, you know, that's programmed to cry and things like that. But I've been carrying around this conker all week. For about a week and a half now. I keep constantly putting it in my pockets, and keeping it warm. So keeping it warm like a little duckling or something. It's like it's become my little symbolic baby in a way. It's like I was thinking about all that heat and love that I've been giving this seed, right? This conker that was put in my path that I picked up off the street. All that warmth that I've put inside it, and how heat is a form of energy. So all that heat that's inside it is stored energy. And I'm like, maybe if I planted this, it would be the biggest oak tree because of the tender care that I've given it in these early stages, for the love that I've poured into it. I don't know if it necessarily works like that, but again, it's symbolic. So appreciating the little things that the universe puts in your path, you know, and seeing the beauty of nature. So appreciation could be many different forms, right? Appreciate the little things that the universe brings you, and the universe will bring you bigger things. So with grace and appreciation, it's again, like, no hard feelings, baby. It's almost like, you know, at an award show when you're nominated but you don't win the award, and everybody, like, the person who wins is like up on stage and everybody's cheering them, and it's like, you know, the camera's on you, you know, people are waiting for your reaction, so you do it gracefully, you know, you applaud that person. You know, when you're leaving, when people are interviewing, they say, what did you think, how did you feel? And you say, you know, I really respect that other person, they do a great job, you know, they really deserve that award, I think they gave a brilliant performance. And doing it with that kind of like grace and humility, where it's like everybody wins, right? And you come off looking really good as well. So yeah, that's kind of what that's saying to me. Kind of carrying a little bit of, I don't know why, because she doesn't really look like her, she kind of looks Native American, but she's kind of, for some reason, making me think of the older lady in Game of Thrones, in House of the Dragon. You know, the woman who was supposed to be the queen, but she never was. You know, and how graceful she is and beautiful. I'm like, do you know what? That's how I want to age. She's so gorgeous. So yeah, then all tied up, like really feeling maybe trapped, because the devil traps, the devil chains. So trapped with this. There's something going on with the head as well. So can you see how like the antlers are out here? Is like being connected and then taking yourself offline. So again, perhaps if you have some kind of like social media addiction, perhaps you're, you know, disconnecting from social media for a couple of days while you do your inner work. Maybe there could be something about phone lines going down for a little while, so you have to go and read a book by candle. You know, the light's gone off, so you read a book by candlelight, you know, like the olden days, conserving energy and all that kind of thing. I don't know, there's something to do with like the head being covered, and that being a form of intentional disconnect, right? And it could almost be this is unknown to you with this kind of shielding from Michael, right? So again, whatever this is, it could be a partner for you. This could be a partner who protects you, you know. But it's like with this energy coming through as the wings covering you and protecting you from the storm, it's coming through this. It's like she's not aware of it. She's not aware of this protective cover that's coming from this Michael energy, right? But it's allowing this person to maybe even perceive their actual situation, maybe perceive that they're trapped in some sort of way. Again, it's got that feeling of like being like stuck indoors, confirmation perhaps. But then it's like, the reason I want to say that person one is being protected here by this Michael character, because, and again, if this is you, it's like you are the treasure. Like, this energy appreciates you. This energy sees your worth. Like, you're the treasure worth protecting. It's not all this gold and these diamonds and things that have been thrown out of the box. What's being protected is the girl. The girl's in distress, you know? So again, it's like the treasure is almost secondary. I don't know. It's something like, it's like seeing your own inner light, right? Stumbling across your own worth. I don't know, this thing about the diamond, like, look, he's got right, hang on, there's something going on. Okay, so I talk about in a reading that I put up, or was it in one of the readings that I haven't put up? I was talking about one of the messages that came through for me personally while I've been in this energy was my granny came to see me, and I had a difficult, spiritually, I had quite a difficult relationship with my granny, because she was a bit controlling about food. She'd force me to eat things that would literally get stuck in my throat and make me gag, and like nothing horrible, like sprouts, you know, stuff like that, like granny food where they try and feed it you and you're like, bleh. And it's like I was a picky child, and so it's really distressing for me, actually. And so there was a few different things that made my relationship with Granny a little bit difficult. She wasn't a bad person in any means. She was very well intentioned, but there was conflicts there that, and she looked after me well as well. She was a caregiver, you know, but there was things there that made our relationship a little bit like tensiony. So she came to see me. I was like, hi Granny, this was unexpected. And she came in with the message of carrots. I was being shown carrots, and carrots, you know, cooked carrots that are kind of like chopped and then cooked, and it was one of the foods that I really didn't like. And it carries symbolism as well with my nana. My nana has started to go a bit doolally at the end of her life. So my grandma and my nana, mum and dad, right? My nana, we went to visit her, and she was not looking after herself very well. We weren't sure, because she'd lost all sense of time. And we weren't sure if she was eating regularly and eating properly and things like this. And she was insisting that she was. And she got this bowl of carrots out of her fridge, and it was a really sad moment, because she was like, look, I've chopped these carrots, but the carrots were covered in mold. You know, we don't know how long they've been in there for. She probably had lost that sense of time, and so she was insisting I'm eating. Look, I've chopped these carrots, and yet they were, you know, they were furry. So carrots and grandmas is symbolic for me at the moment. And then Granny came in with the carrots, like, again, this message of you need to eat carrots so that you can see in the dark. And then it was almost this message of protection, like, you're going to go into some kind of darkness in your life, you're going to go through the storm, you need to be able to see clearly. so eat your carrots, right? Which is a very typical thing of my granny to say. And then so I came out of meditation and I randomized a song on Spotify without saying anything out loud. The first lines were talking about carrots, as in carat diamonds. Let me just see if I can find the song. Hold on. So I don't know if it's an original song by this artist or if it's so funny. It really feels like it's a message from a granny. It's a song called "Good for You." Like, eat your carrots, they're good for you. Like, I was like, okay, granny. So yeah, it's so funny, like the confirmation of the song. So I got the granny coming in with "Eat your carrots, they help you see in the dark." Randomized a song without speaking a word, and the song was "Good for You" by Sophia Karlberg. I'm on my 14 carats. I'm 14 carat, doing it up like Midas. So she's talking about like 14 carat gold or 14 carat diamonds or something like that. And she mentions Marcus cut diamonds in that. So then like diamonds became, I started seeing diamonds everywhere then. I was like, for crying out loud. But yeah, this thing about diamonds, like with more than diamonds, more than gold, right? Sia. So I don't know, there's something about the symbolism of like it almost looks like a heart-shaped diamond there. This is like it kind of looks like a ruby, but it's like a red light on a diamond. So diamonds do talk to me again about Libra energy, about showing all your facets, about if you show a lot, not show like you don't have to show off all your facets if you know what I mean, Libs, but like crystals as well. It's like Libra for me is always symbolic of a diamond, because it's, or a crystal, you know, it's like you can see right through it, it's transparent, which talks about Libra's honesty, being the Queen of Swords. Libra's honesty, Libra's integrity, Libra's multifacetedness and chameleon-like quality of adaptability. So a Libra can fit into a lot of, Gemini as well carries this energy. Libra can fit into a lot of different situations. And again, remember, we all have Libra in our chart, right? We're all affected by all the houses, all the planets. Don't forget that. So the Libra energy itself is, yes, I'm adaptable. Yes, I can show a different facet of my personality depending on what the situation needs. If I need to be a mediator, I'll be a mediator. If I need to speak up and defend myself, I'll speak up and defend myself. You know, it's like if I need to be quiet and sit back, I will. But then it's like shine a light through it and you can see right through it. There's nothing hidden. You know, there's no devil here. So with it being like, again, I associate Libra with like the Sword of Truth, the Justice card, and all these kind of things. So that's not saying Libras can't be deceptive. If you know a specific Libra, it depends on the full chart, all the different placements, right? You know, I'm a Libra with a Gemini moon, so Gemini being a bit of a sneaky energy, like I've got so much Libra in my chart, and again, I'm very honest about a lot of things, but Gemini energy in the moon placement can be a little bit hidden. It can be a little bit cloak and dagger, because your moon is your secret self, who you are behind closed doors, and it's strategic. So I don't know, maybe I'm not the good girl you thought I was. I don't know, but it's strategic, right? It's not, nothing's good or bad, but thinking makes us so. But yeah, you're being protected ultimately, I want to say, because you are the treasure. I'm hearing diamond in the rough, like you are the joyful muse. So again, talking about the cat being this energy in this reading today is talking about your creativity, your ability to turn blue into something beautiful, to utilize. And again, everything is energy, and it's not good or bad, it's how we utilize it. So taking that devil energy, which is coming through as being very emotionally sad, right? Those experiences in our life that are sad, where grief is, where temptation is, and dragging it into the light, right? And it can be our own light, us seeing it clearly, and turning it into something, transmuting it into something beneficial. So it's like people who take pain and write poetry, or people who you know, I love that phrase, it keeps coming up. I keep hearing it this week as well, this song. It's a Lana Del Rey song, and she says, I can turn blue into something beautiful. What if someone had told Picasso never to be sad? We'd never have had the blue period. You know, he never would have become the man that he became. So I'm getting emotional. So it's like nothing is bad, but thinking makes it so. Nothing is bad, it's just a building block for us to do what we want with it. And if we want to turn our grief and our pain into art, if we want to express ourselves through painting or music, or you know, our social media presence, whatever it is for you, whatever it is that's creative, take joy in your self-expression as an individual with that Aquarian energy, where you appreciate those parts of yourself that, yes, they could be difficult, they could be the devil within, right? But you appreciate them because they teach you lessons, they help you grow, they help you to change as you move through life, and inspire others with this as well. And that's your inner treasure, and that's what you're going to find within yourself. And this is going to shift fate for you. This is going to shift your timeline. Magical map shifter, it's like it's almost like you and the time master working together, like you being granted, like you've almost been given or finding the tools of the magical map shifter or the time master in a way where, can you see, like it's almost like the figure eight is surrounding her now, where it's like you are in control of your own destiny. You can change the course of your life. You can create a different future for yourself. So if you've envisioned a future for yourself, like you can change that. You can change with like the butterfly and the dollar bill. You can change your financial circumstances. Perhaps you've been working for money but there's been no soul in your job. You can change that. You know, you can work for a job where it's all soul and the money will follow. So it's really about taking back your power, seeing the potential within, not giving your power away and not stealing power from others, but creating your own power through transforming the more difficult, painful energies into turning the blue into something beautiful, which is one of my favorite phases. And you know, it works for Lana Del Rey, it works for Taylor Swift, it works for Billie Eilish, all these brilliant performers and creative artists who create these cathartic and beautiful pieces of song and music videos and whatever it is, through the hardest parts of our lives, right? Through utilizing that to help others. It's beautiful. Okay, let's get you a song. At night you hear my stolen lullabies, and when you can't sleep at night you hear my stolen lullabies. So it's just repeating on the background, you know, like they have those kind of images on the background of videos now on Spotify. Okay, so I pictured Michael's sword. So this is a truth, right? It's like a light bulb moment that I was asking for. You've got Lana Del Rey. I swear it's not all Lana Del Rey on my playlist, but... And then the first word is blue. Ooh. The first word is blue. The second word is hydrangea, which is funny because I used to talk with my mum, who's passed over, about hydrangeas out in front of our house. Nana had hydrangeas as well. And I would talk about how they magically would change colour in my front garden. When I was growing up, when I was little, so I was like younger than 6 because it was my first house. These hydrangeas, I was fascinated by them, and sometimes they'd be blue, and sometimes they'd change colour and be purple, and sometimes they'd be pink, and I just thought they were the most magical flower. So I don't know, it's just an interesting symbolism for me. Old Money by Lana Del Rey. Blue hydrangea, cold cash divine, cashmere cologne and white sunshine, red racing cars, sunset and vine. The kids were young and pretty. Where have you been? Where did you go? Those summer nights seem so long ago. And so is the girl that you used to call the Queen of New York City. But if you send for me, you know I'll come. And if you call for me, you know I'll run. I'll run to you, I'll run to you, I'll run, run, run. Oh, see what I mean? She just, when I'm emotionally vulnerable, when I've not had enough sleep, and when these kind of energies are really playing up, like Scorpio is a water sign, so, so much water. So much water and so much depth. Like, for me as a Libra, like cold Elsa energy, it's a lot. The power of youth is on my mind. Sunset, small town, I'm out of time. Will you still love me when I shine from words but not from beauty? My father's love was always strong. My mother's glamour lives on and on. Yet still inside I felt alone for reasons unknown to me. But if you send to me, I'll run, right? And then it repeats. If you change your mind, I'll come. Sorry. For some of you, it's definitely some sort of breakup. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I really hope that was helpful to you. Check out the description box below. There'll probably be a couple of additional songs down there and a list of all the songs that have come through for the reading so far. If you're still with me and you enjoy my readings and you haven't yet subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. I'm very, very... Right, I don't count followers, right? I quite like that I've got a really small community. because I feel like you're for the most part, you're all very supportive of me, and it's reassuring for when I'm sharing such personal stuff online, for it to be a small group. It's actually quite reassuring for me. If there was hundreds of thousands of people watching my video, it made me feel incredibly vulnerable. But I would love to get to 500, like that 500 follower mark. Not that I'm like counting like everybody's a number or anything like that, but what that will do, when the channel gets to 500 followers, subscribers, sorry, it unlocks certain tools that I can use, like community tools, so I can run polls asking you what type of videos you'd like to see, or like asking you for feedback and things like this, and I can also let you know really easily through community comments, you know, if the readings are going to be delayed, if something's going on in my own personal life and you're like, where is she, where is my reading, I can kind of give you a heads up and let you know what's going on with me that way. So if we can get to that 500 follower mark, it's gonna subscriber mark, it's going to help me to communicate better with you guys and keep you more informed about what's going on and where the readings are, and to allow you to give feedback in a private kind of way. Because when I run a poll, you know, if I was to ask for feedback, some of you may not necessarily want to leave a public comment, because that makes you vulnerable, right, to be, I don't know, to leave that vulnerable comment for everybody to see. But if I run a poll, you can kind of do it anonymously and give me that feedback that way. So I think it'll be much more comfortable for a lot of my viewers, and it's just something I'd really like to access. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed yet and you wouldn't mind hitting that button, you know, just a little bit over 500, and then we'll be good. That'd be amazing. All right, I appreciate you all. I hope these readings are helpful to you. I hope it's cathartic to know that you're not the only one feeling this way, if you're feeling the same way as me today, because it sucks and it's horrible. It's really hard to, again, like that Nancy Sinatra song was just so perfect for the energy and the way the energy feels. It's like, why is the sun still shining when it feels like my world's falling apart? Which again doesn't feel like it's anything specific to me, but it's just the energy, and the energy is so hard. Like it really feels like almost like Pluto, Saturn coming in and kind of like really putting us through the ringer. Yeah. All right, I hope that was really, really helpful for everybody. Do please take care of yourselves. You know, if you need to take a couple of days off work and do that self-care and that meditation and just looking after yourself, then, you know, like, you are the most important thing, right? Maybe you've got kids, in which case, yeah, okay, maybe the kids are the most important thing in your life, but beyond that, like, you really are the most important thing in your life, because how can you do anything if you're physically exhausted? You know, if you're not taking care of number one, you can't take care of anyone else. So, you know, prioritize yourself, your health, your own needs, and you know, see yourself as that valuable asset. See yourself as, you know, see your diamond core, right? See your value, see that part of your soul that is like solid and beautiful and bright and dependable, and tap into that. And like, yeah, really good stuff. All right, I'm gonna go and do my own meditation and yoga and tidy my house and all those things that I do when I'm fussy. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you again soon. Bye, friends. Hi, if you're still here. Like, talking about time folding in on itself and everything like that, the weirdest thing is happening right now for me. It's 11:10 on my phone and my computer, but the phone that I'm recording this on is 11:11. It's just turned to 11:11 now on the computer and on my phone. So the phone that I was recording the video on was a minute faster than the other technology in the room. And how does that happen? That is bizarre. Okay, weird message, but I wanted to tap that on just at the end there. Bye.